Good afternoon. Welcome to Customer Effects Training Webinars. My name is Dale Richter, and today we're going to be talking about the SalesLogix Cloud, specifically version 7.5.3, and looking at one of the administration options, which is the Picklist attributes. In earlier versions of the web client, you would have to change all of your attributes right on the web page itself. Now they do have an administration interface where we can apply those attributes to our web pages. Why don't you hold on just a second while I switch over to my web client and we'll take a look. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so first I opened my application architect here, and I just wanted to show you where all the attributes were set before. So in my Project Explorer here within Application Architect, I just went up to my VHS Entity Model, went into Packages, and then I went down to Account, and in the Account Forms, I went to the Account Detail form. On there, you can then highlight a field, and here I have highlighted already the type field. You see here I have the type field, and now over in the right in the properties, and I pulled up the properties window, that's why I'm seeing that, they have a behavior portion, and this is where you can allow for multiple selections in the type field, whether the users can edit the text, whether the item must match one of the pick list items, maximum length, whether it's a required field or not, and whether it's sorted alphabetically or not. So these are all the attributes for pick lists. Like I said, now we're right directly on the web page itself, into the field, and into the behavior within properties. That's where we'd set those. And of course, once we changed any of those, then we'd have to go up here and build the web platform, and after building that, we would then go ahead and deploy the website, and that's how those changes would take place. Sounds like an awful lot of work to me. So now they have a new interface right within the client in the administration where we can change those pick list attributes. I'm going to switch over here to my client and we'll take a look at those. Okay, so I've switched over to my web client here, and on the left hand side of the screen then I'm just going to go down to my administration navigation menu, and within that navigation menu then I'm going to click on pick lists here. When the pick list opens, it automatically went to account type because I was in there earlier. So let me go to all pick lists here first of all. So here we see all of our pick lists listed here, and then I just went down to account type, clicked on the hyperlink here, and that brings me into the window where I can change the entries here. So now we have the same options here that we saw over in the Application Architect, only this time they're right within the client within administration. Of course, I'm logged in as admin right now. That's why I have the administration menu, or if a user had access to that administration menu. But here I can choose required entry if a pick list is required. Also, if I want to allow multiple selections, or text must match a list item, whether we want it sorted alphabetically or not, and whether or not our users can edit items. So if they can edit items in the list, that means they can add and edit existing items or add new items to the pick list. We don't really want too often from adding new items to the pick list, because when they do add as a regular user, that is only getting added to their pick list and not to the generic pick list for everyone. So we want to be able to make sure that only administrator does that. So down in the bottom here then, now there's a checkbox that says, do you want to apply these options to the web pick list? And that is what would overwrite, and this would take precedence over whatever is in that web client or that application architect on the form. So this would override whatever is on that form. if we choose to apply these options to the web pick list. If we don't choose to apply them, this is only going to apply to the LAN version of SalesLogix, not to the web version. So you want to make sure you check that if you're using the web client. And of course, over on the right here, just like always, you have a test list and the current default value if you want to put a default value in on your pick list. So this is brand new to version 7.5.3, all these administration options, but this is pretty cool here that we can now change the pick list attributes right within the administration of the client rather than having to go out to Application Architect and do that on the form itself. So again, to access that, it's from the administration menu, and we went down and chose pick lists, and when we're in our pick list, then we can see all of our pick lists. Let me click on the pick list tab here and again and pull up all of our pick lists. And then when we pull up all of our pick lists here, you'll see here we can scroll down and find any pick list. And of course, over on the right here, if we want to filter that down, we can look up pick lists by alphabetically here. So if you want to narrow that down. But all the pick lists are listed here, and then of course you can just click on one to go in and edit this pick list. Here I've chosen contract type. So, and we can always test that list to make sure that we have the right one and see what the items are that are currently in that pick list. Once you change that, make sure you save it if you're adding any items, if you're deleting from here, and then of course setting up your attributes or their options as they're called here, and then whether or not you're going to apply them to the web pick list. So this webinar was about SalesLogix Cloud, specifically again version 7.5.3. And we were looking at the administration and looking at the attributes or the options on pick lists themselves. I want to thank you all for joining me this afternoon. Have a great day.